All right, guys, we got a workout here. All you're gonna need is a kettlebell. So one kettlebell's and a little bit of space to move. So first thing we're gonna do is kind of prime the body, warm the hips up, warm up the shoulders a little bit, and then we'll get into this flow. So first thing we want to do for our warm up is I'm gonna get you down onto the ground. We're gonna try to get some posterior chain activation going. So we're gonna lay down. I want to inhale. Exhale, kind of set my rib cage here a little bit, so I'm going to engage my abdomen. I'm going to squeeze up through my glutes, and I'm going to pull back through my hamstrings. I'm going to hold for a 10 count. Really what I'm trying to do is wake up my glutes and wake up my hamstrings here, especially for those of you working from home and doing a lot of sitting right now. This would be a great way to get posterior chain going. 10-second hold, and then down. I'm going to inhale, exhale, and repeat that. I'm going to do 3 to 5 reps there, guys. Again, focus on glute engagement and hamstring. Then we'll stand back up. We're going to open up the hips into a wide stance. We're going to do a lateral lunge or a Cossack squat here. So sit down into this guy, work across the bottom. Again, especially for those of you who are doing a lot of sitting at home, this is a great way to get the hips opened up. We're going to work 20 reps here. We can stand up in between each one if you want. Either way, really what we're just trying to do here is get those hips nice and opened up. And we're going to go down into our deep lunge position. We're going to keep our front leg, we're going to keep that foot straight. This knee's going to kind of track out, so we're really going to bias up some rotation, get that get that hip to open up. Back leg, we're going to internally rotate this guy. So goal here is to try to keep all 5 toes on the ground. We're going to floss that quad out a little bit. So I'm going to have you flex the glute and the quad, lock the leg out and back down. Can incorporate some breathing into this. So inhale in, exhale down. We're going to go through 10 of those. Then after that, we're going to try to drop the elbow down to the ground and then rotate, and we're going to go 10 here each side. If you can't, if you're like me and you're a little stiff on these guys and we can't get that elbow down, just work as low as you can. The goal here is you work through some reps. I think you'll find you can get closer and closer to the ground as that hip starts to open up. So 10 floss, and then 10 elbow to ground with some rotation. We'll switch sides there and repeat. Then we're going to get down onto all fours. Knees going to come up about 1 inch off the ground, and we're going to drive our butts up to the ceiling here. We're going to reach through the quads, push back through the shoulders, and come back down. So inhale in, reach, really pushing. Our goal there, again, if you're like me, you're a little on the stiff side, this guy will tax you. We're going to try to lock the legs out there. We're going to try to get our butts up to the ceiling as much as we can, and we're reaching through our feet here, guys. So we're not dropping back onto our heels. We're actually really engaging the calf as well and really trying to get the foot involved in that. We're going to go 10 reps there. Then, after we've kind of got our lower body warmed up there, we're going to stand up. I want to work through a little bit of T-spine opener. So we're going to inhale in. We're going to pull the shoulder blades together, and we're going to exhale and really feel for some movement through our upper back here. So inhales in, exhales. 10 of those guys. Then I'm going to go big inhale into a little overhead position here. So we're going to create a little rotation through the shoulder. Inhale, straight up overhead. Really try to open up those shoulders. Now our goal here is to not get into a rib cage flare. So I want you to keep the rib cage down, keep your glutes on, rotate the shoulder. Inhale, all the way overhead and down. Give me 10 of those guys. Again, we're trying to open that shoulder up overhead, so really prioritize some abdominal engagement, some glute engagement to keep that rib cage and pelvis glued together, so we're not compensating into this overextended position here. Then last one for our overhead, we're gonna do a little lateral seam. So top hand, we're gonna go palm to the ceiling. Bottom hand, we're gonna go palm to the ground. You're gonna inhale in and pull against yourself, exhale. Inhale in and exhale. So 10 total there. So that should get us nice and kind of warmed up and opened up. Then we're gonna come over to our kettlebell. We're gonna first kick off with some goblet squats. We're gonna start with some tempo goblet squats. We're gonna pick this guy up, grab him by the horns, or you can spin around. It doesn't matter really, your preference here. Then what I wanna work on, we're gonna grip the ground with our feet. I want strong foot engagement here, guys. So preferably this whole workout's done out of your shoes or in something like some Vivo Bears here where you're feeling the ground underneath you. So we're gonna grip the ground with our feet, inhale in, pull down into our squat, keeping that chest as upright as possible here, and back up. Now we're gonna make this into a tempo squat. So we're gonna have a 3 count into our descent. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, up. All right, so 6 seconds per rep. We're gonna do 5 reps, and we're gonna do that for 3 rounds. So 5 reps with a 6-second total tempo there. So it's 30 seconds of squatting. Really focus on, again, foot engagement and then rotation through the hip. Those are the things that we're always talking about in here. How do we create a good, stable position? Strong foot, strong hip engagement. That is how we stay out of our knees. It's how we stay out of our backs when we're doing our squats. So 3 rounds there. We're gonna pair this guy up with a bent over kettlebell row. So right after our tempo squats, we're gonna go into a little split stance position. We're gonna hinge over, and I'm hinging at the forward hip here, keeping that shoulder down, and row 1, 2, 3. You can see here I'm trying to keep that shoulder down and back. Good, strong integration of my trunk here as well. We're gonna go 8 to 10 reps there, depending on what your weight's, just challenging reps there. So right after your squats, we're going into that kettlebell row. So 3 rounds on those 2 movements. Then after that, we're gonna go into a little kettlebell flow work here. So we get a little bit more dynamic with these movements. We're gonna do a kettlebell swing. So down into our starting position here, guys. What I want to do is we're going to start from a hike position. So we're going to pull that kettlebell over so the handle is going to be kind of coming up into my waistline here. I'm going to attach my arms to my body. So I want my lats to be engaged here. I'm going to hike the kettlebell in between my legs and then pop up. From here, we're going to swing. We're going to go 5 kettlebell swings. After that 5th, we're going to absorb down. We're going to go 5 kettlebell cleans. So again, kind of exhibiting that squat mechanic here. And then after that 5th, we're going to go 5 kettlebell push press. So we're going to load that hip just a little bit. Again, gripping the ground with our feet, good rotation through the hips. Pop up and lock overhead. Squeezing glutes. And again, being mindful of what's happening with our rib cage here. So really try to manage any rib cage flare on those overheads. So 5 swings, 5 cleans, 5 kettlebell push press. We're gonna go 3 rounds on that guy. So get nice and warmed up, tempo squats with bent over row, then swings, cleans, and push press. We're prescribing 3 rounds here, but if you want to scale this up a little bit, add another round or 2 to each one. Give this one a shot.